Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. People are probably out there busy, getting things ready for 4th of July, etc. I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to do what they had planned due to COVID. So if you're one of the lucky ones that have some plans, yay, soak it in and make sure you're really being purposeful with the moment to be able to get out there and appreciating it. So all right, well, thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, make sure you, if you don't put them off to the side in the comments. I mean, sometimes I catch them, but sometimes I don't. So do make sure that you put them in that little ask a question area because I always check that for sure. All right, so how do you have an impact? Volunteering equals relationship building. So I'll give you a little background on us and the company and myself and what we're trying to accomplish here. So our company is Let's Thrive 360, and we created an app called UltraWise. And the mission of the company is to help people be better intentionally. So what that means is for us to be better at anything, we need to do it more purposefully, right? We need to get out there, and if you want to be a better runner, you've got to run more. A better reader, you read more. What if to be better people, we actually have to be intentional about it and get out there and do it. So that's the place we come from. And then we go into altruism is at the core of our mission and who we are as a company. And altruism is a really cool word. It's not used very often anymore, but it means to care more about someone else's well-being than you do yourself. And it tends to be known by its synonyms. As you can see, there's many awesome synonyms surrounding that word. But altruism really is at the heart of what we're trying to do. So I'm going to review some of our sessions. So for some of you who are new, we've been doing this now. I've been doing this now. This is the 12th one in a row session. So we kind of keep adding new information and reviewing some of the old stuff to make sure we don't forget it, because it's really important. And just in case there's some new people on, we want to make sure to give you guys kind of a heads up of what we're doing. And then on our YouTube channel, we also have the past sessions as well, so you can review those as well. At the end, I will be putting links in the comments so that you guys can reference some of the things that I've got going on in the presentation as well. So stay for the end, make sure you grab those links. So, all right, we're going to review a couple things. So we're talking about altruism. We're talking about volunteering and community service and what that means and how that's impacting you as a student and how you can make that impact kind of larger portions of your life and what you really can get out of volunteering and community service above and beyond just checking a box that you did it. So first, let's look at those colleges and applications that you need to do to get into the universities and colleges. So there's a new term out there called test optional. It means that the college or university is no longer going to be taking into account an SAT or ACT score. And this is becoming a growing trend, and they're calling that a holistic application admissions approach. So again, they want to see and get to know you as a whole entire person, not just a score that you get on one test. So that means your community service is going to become that much more important. So, because again, they're trying to get to know you as a person, how well you'll do in the school or college, and especially in that career path that you're looking at and what that looks like. So then keeping in mind that 61% of those college admissions officials also use that community service as a tiebreaker. So again, making sure that you're really thoughtful about what you're doing for your community service is really important. Another thing to keep in mind is that college admissions officials really like to see commitment over quantity. So anywhere from that 50 to 200-ish hours are really good range of how many volunteer hours you've done that you're including on your college admissions application. But it's also quality. So showing that you did 1 hour every week at the same, food pantry for 4 years is actually more impactful than 1 week mission trip, and that's all you did. So again, you want to really balance that out, unless you can really highlight that the mission trip was there was something unique within that missions trip that helps you set you up for your career or to be a part of that college or university, that's where you want to be able to make that connection in the essay, for example, with your college admissions. The other thing that we talk about is the scholarships. So for many of you, if you're applying for scholarships, community service is really, really important for those scholarships as well. There are even some scholarships out there that actually weigh more on community service than on your GPA. So again, you really want to be thoughtful about your community service. If you're a freshman or a sophomore, like this is a great time to really be purposeful about your community service and how it fits into, the where you might lead yourself into for college, university, a career, scholarships, etc. So that's kind of that in review. Things that we've been working on for today is the networking. That's kind of an older term. Some now call it, making the connections, business relationships, anything that you want to kind of put with that. But the networking is really, how do you build your community of people that you can connect to somebody else and go, I think so-and-so said they're a part of such and such group and they need such and such thing. And I either have that such and such thing, or I know somebody else that has that thing and can connect. This is really, really important. This is almost this is how future jobs get acquired. This is how future customers, it's really important to start networking. And if you think about again, it's all about being purposeful. So we'll go to the next slide, actually. So pay attention. So volunteering is a great first step for you to start building your network. And when I say pay attention, I mean pay attention to not only the organization itself, who's in the organization, their leadership, where maybe they've been before. If somebody comes in as a new executive director of the nonprofit that you're helping out at, ask them, where else were you at? Oh, I was in such and such state. Maybe that's where you intend on going to college or university. Have a conversation with that person. See what that's like. Maybe they know somebody in the admissions office. Again, the relationship building and connections that can be made are so invaluable to be able to hold on to those. So pay attention to the organization and who you're volunteering with. And it doesn't matter the age. You guys are going to be the ones in leadership positions soon enough. So you might have a fellow student from a different school that's volunteering with you. If you guys are jiving and you have kind of the same thoughts and career path, you both want to be entrepreneurs, for example, stay connected, because you don't know where that connection will take you. So different ways to stay connected and stuff, because again, how are you going to remember everybody, right? So you got the old-fashioned business cards. There used to be a time where business cards were only done, at a printer. Like only business people had business cards. That is just not the case anymore. Again, you can buy business card things at Staples, at anywhere, Amazon, anywhere. Print them up for yourself, and if you feel it's important enough to give somebody your contact information, that then you also request a business card back. That's really important. A couple things on the etiquette of business cards. It is said that you should do not force your business card on somebody, really only if they ask. Best way, if you really want them to ask, is you ask them for theirs. So, and you can, of course, just say, hey, I'd love to stay connected. I do have my contact information on a card. This would be the easiest way to connect, etc. Another way is when it comes to business and that career piece is LinkedIn. I know you're thinking, well, I'm a student, I really don't want LinkedIn. What would I say? I see a growing number of students having LinkedIn profiles. They're not on it often. They're not posting. That's fine. It's kind of a holding place, right? It's a nice, here's where I want my business connections to stay kind of housed, if you will. If you have heard of the term of a Rolodex, it's a modern version of that. So I would highly recommend that you get a LinkedIn profile. Obviously, pass it by your parents first or whoever your guardians are. And just, again, more for that kind of holding pattern so that you can connect with people in the business world, where the people, places that you're going to college or whatever that might be. That's going to be really important for laying the groundwork for the future kind of directions. And it gives you more options, because now you're going to start to know people in different industries, and you're going to be able to take advantage of that and connect with them. And those people aren't going to stay in those industries forever necessarily either. So now you've got, again, one person, maybe they've worked in 3 different types of HR, businesses throughout the country, different levels, Fortune 500, mom and pop, whatever. What a great resource that would be for you to say, hey, I've got my first job interview with a Fortune 500 company. What do you suggest? That's where these connections can really become super important. And absolutely, I can't stress this enough, make sure you're also giving value and adding to that. It is so much fun for me to make a connection for people. I find that to be the coolest thing ever. Like, oh my gosh, I actually know this person and this person, and they really want to know each other, and I can make that connection because it could spark something really great when these 2 people get together for, their entrepreneurial piece or the start, whatever it might be. So again, and I've been blessed to have that happen with me. And so, yeah, you want to send that karma back around, right? All right. When we talk about altruizing, again, it means to exercise your altruism, and that's at the core of what we really want everybody to be doing. And so when you're out and you're volunteering and you're going to make those connections, part of that networking, that building the relationships, is the altruizing. That's where that giving back comes from, is making sure that if you've got the opportunity to connect, you do that. There's nothing in it for you other than the satisfaction that you're connecting to people that are in your network. And that's really, really huge. So you want to, again, you're going to set those goals of altruizing. So in this instance, maybe you're setting the goal of trying to connect people, or how many people you want to start adding to your network. And then how can you help them? And, that's a great goal for altruizing. Make sure you're tracking it. Again, that's what holds you accountable. Making sure it's altruistic. Why are you doing it? Why is it important to you? Why is it a passion? Making sure it's realistic. So, again, networking used to be done during, lunchtime or at different events. That is less and less now due to COVID. So, get creative. That's why LinkedIn is now even, more important as far as just a great place for the business, career side of it. So again, that is not for social, pictures of puppies and what you did on the weekend or anything like that. It's for business relationships and trying to connect and understanding what's going on in a business capacity. And then make sure you're telling others about what you're doing. And again, it's another way to hold yourself accountable. And I mentioned earlier and for some of you that have joined us before, that Altruize, we have an app that allows you to actually be able to track all of your activities. It allows you to set those goals to make sure that you are going to be purposeful about it. It also allows you to have, if you've got other requirements from other entities, so other organizations that are requiring you to volunteer, Again, maybe it's your school has 40 hours that you're supposed to do to graduate. You can have that all here as well. And then when you're ready to get that verified, you can do that through the app as well in a digital space, which is awesome. You're getting rid of the paperwork. Yay. And you're getting rid of emails back and forth. So it's all happening within this digital space. And when you're ready to use this data, now that it's all in one place, you can create a volunteer transcript and be able to, apply that for scholarships, for college, with your job, resumes, anywhere you need it, right? And pointing out that we've also got the skill development profile. So again, you can show that you're being purposeful about your community service. So whether it's with the scholarships or the colleges or the jobs that you're trying to impress, you've got that. And then also the ability to journal is really important too. All right, and then we have our Ultra-Rising ambassadors. This is a super special feature that we're rolling out, and we're super excited for the first group that are Ultra-Rising ambassadors. They're helping us kind of form the program, so it's kind of an exciting time. We want it to be fun. We want it to be impactful, of course, and we also want this to be kind of the start of networking. So if you're an introvert, that's another reason why volunteering is a great way to use as a networking platform, a way to build those relationships. But our Ultra-Rising ambassador group is as well. All these ambassadors will be off at different colleges at some point, and to be able to be connected and know that you guys have the same kind of heart to want to volunteer and want to be altruistic and help others to do the same is really a great thing to bind you and something to stay connected for. The other exciting thing is our ebook is ready, and I will be putting that link in the comments. Yay! So we had that available last week as well. If you received a reminder email for this live stream, the link would have been there too. So excited to have that out. And then we also have our ambassador. Again, I'll give the link to become an ambassador as well if you're interested in that. And a couple of things that we've been up to. So I had a great interview with Shannon Wenzel. She's an amazing networker. So she actually had a post on Facebook that said, hey, I've reached my limit of friends. I'm going to have to start having you guys just follow me, et cetera, et cetera. And when you look up how many friends you can have on Facebook, it's 5,000. So she really took networking to new levels and made it into something that helps her family financially. And it's a great interview. So I really hope you guys take an opportunity to listen to that. Again, that link will be available in the comments at the end here. And please do not forget, if you are on here specifically because you are looking for something to do from home to get volunteer hours, March of Dimes has partnered with Ultra-Rise. We're still in need of masks, need to have masks made. So again, they are not requiring any sewing. It's rubber bands and old t-shirts. Super simple. We've already done them. So they're keeping this challenge open. They will verify through the Ultra-Rise app anyone from anywhere around the country who's made masks for them. You'll just upload some pictures of the masks you made, and then there's a special place to send them. If you're going to keep them in your local area, then you'll just want to indicate that when you're sending in the information to be verified on the app. When you put in the description, you'll just say, hey, we're going to keep the masks here if that's all right. But it's pretty awesome that they're willing to do that. So please take advantage of that. And make sure that you hashtag Ultra-Rise anytime that you're doing something really cool and good in your community. If you're going to make the masks, please hashtag Ultra-Rise. We'd love to stay connected with you as a networking, right? Love to stay connected with you and see how things are going and what you're doing and how you're staying active and involved in your communities. So I really encourage that. If anybody's got any questions, please make sure that you give me a shout out right there, or you can always email, and I'll put that email in the link comments as well. So thank you for your time. This one was kind of a quick one, but that's all right. I hope you got some extra information out of this. Next week, we will be doing this again. Again, we'll cover some of the same material, but I'm going to dive a little bit more into scholarships from a local level. So our ebook talks about it's all the major scholarships that are heavy on community service. That's what we compiled there. And then it gives you helpful tips on different ways to make sure you're being smart about applying for scholarships in general. So next week, I'm going to concentrate on kind of what to look for in a local, just what's around you. So there's a lot of stuff. If you Google it, you'll see all the big ones as far as big companies and the corporations and all that. And I still encourage you to apply for those. But that means a lot of local ones are going unused because people just don't know about them. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that and give you some helpful tips on how to search those out a little bit better and more efficiently. So there's that. So hang on just a second before you go. Let me get these links for you guys. And thanks again for joining. Make sure you tell your friends, tell others, join us, like us, our Facebook page. And we always post on there when we're having a next one and what the topic will be about. And then make sure that there we go. So yeah, follow us on our different social media. And again, please hashtag Ultarize so that we can see you following us and see the cool stuff that you're doing. So really would appreciate that. So if there's nothing else, then I will say farewell for this week. Enjoy the 4th of July and, stay safe. And we'll see you guys next week. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.